Welcome to FBB Forum. If you like this content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and follow my YouTube and Instagram pages. I'm very excited to welcome the stunning IFBB Women's Physique Pro, Rachel Jaffe, to the podcast. Rachel,
Thank you for having me.
oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Rachel most recently competed at the Klash in Orlando and the Atlantic Coast in Fort Lauderdale. And I got to see her win the 50 plus Masters division at the Clash, and she really looked great too.
Thank
Um,
you.
and Rachel earned her pro card at the 2021 NPC Masters USA, and she currently lives in New Orleans with her husband. Stay tuned to find out where she'll compete next. Welcome, Rachel. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. It's so wonderful to be here.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
I'm
Um,
really looking forward to it.
oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Now, I was curious, in terms of getting started in bodybuilding, did you have an athletic or a sports background before you started?
I had zero athletic and sports background. I
Really?
was in my childhood a little bit overweight and didn't play any sports. I was not involved in any activities other than playing outside, like kick the can. In high school, I was for 1 year a cheerleader, but I didn't really do anything. I was kind of like in name, and I was on the softball team, but I was the designated French braider. So I
Oh,
don't think so I never really made the field or did it. I never really played. So no. I had very athletic parents. I had brothers, but I decided I wanted to do a different route. So I was a couch potato actually. I
oh
was
yeah.
really into MTV and eating.
Oh,
I'm
really?
54. So MTV was like the thing then. So that was my jam, not exercise. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
actually, yeah. So no athletic background.
You're about the same age as me. I'm 51, and I got addicted to MTV when it came out. I was like, what is this? This is so cool.
Glued. You could not move me. There was not a chance. No way. And I still watch videos the whole time while I compete, while I'm training for competition.
Oh, do you? Oh, very
Yeah.
cool. That's awesome.
It
Um,
makes the time go faster. That cardio can be rough.
oh, I know. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, music videos are great. I'm glad that the idea of music videos hasn't gone away. It's still out there on YouTube and such.
Right. But not on MTV.
No, that's true. Yeah, VH1 doesn't show music videos anymore either. So,
True. I actually was on MTV once, just a weird aside, in 1987. No, 89. I was in Daytona for spring break. And we
oh,
had like a little lip sync competition, and our group won. So
that's
that's
so
floating out
cool.
there on MTV somewhere. So,
Oh, that's so
so
awesome. That
it
might be,
was a,
could be on YouTube maybe.
it could be. I should look for it. It's oh
I remember when MTV did that, they would do the spring break like a week or two. They would spend the whole time down there and the college kids would get their 15 seconds of fame. It was cool.
what happens in Daytona stays in Daytona in the 80s.
Oh yeah, that's true. I know it was kind of a wild place. I know. Um,
Right.
that's so cool. Now, how'd you get started in bodybuilding in particular, and who convinced you to do that first contest?
So I had seen Pumping Iron. I'd watched the second one with Rachel McGlish and kind of knew it was around, but never thought it was something that I would do. And like I said, I was kind of heavy. And after my second child, was very heavy. I'm 5 feet tall and I weighed about 200 pounds afterwards.
Okay.
And I was like, I got to do something. And I met a trainer and I decided to just let him lead the way. And I started out with half an hour sessions and I just fell in love with it. And so I was like, what can I do next? Never dreaming I would ever get into a bathing suit in front of people. That was like not in my cards. I wouldn't even walk in a bathing suit in front of my husband. Like it wasn't something that I would do, not even.
Yeah.
And I started with something called the Women's Tri Fitness in Tampa with Al Rosen. And they had a skills component, an obstacle course, and they had a figure was the third component. I never did it, but I watched it and I was like, And basically, I just entered my local show in New Orleans like a year later because I couldn't stop thinking about it. And that was my entryway, sort of roundabout.
I remember that Women's Try Fitness here in Tampa, and that was a kind of a cool thing. It's been a while since they've had that, I think, but I remember that.
Amazing. It was, I met the most wonderful people. A lot of them went on to like CrossFit and other things. Everybody sort of branched out, but it was an amazing group of women to be around. And it was a wonderful starting point for me to like get my feet wet and see what I liked and what were my strengths. Uh Obstacle course was not a strength.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's tough, I bet. Those are the toughest
Oh,
parts.
box jumps, no problem. Getting over that wall because you started with a wall that you had to climb over.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's amazing. I can't believe I did it.
That's so cool. That's awesome. What was
It was a lot of fun.
your first show in New Orleans? Which show was it?
I did the Greater Golf in New Orleans, and it was like 2007, I think. And I
Oh
came
yeah.
in second. And I took some time off because my kids were young, but I stayed with the lifestyle and I stayed watching shows and seeing what was going on. But I really became active in 2015 when my boys were a little bit older. And then I
Yeah.
was 2015 through this past year with a couple of breaks in between.
That's terrific. That's so cool. Yeah. It's great that you
It's
guys
been a
have.
ride.
Oh yeah.
And
This is
I've almost loved every second of it. Almost.
uh-huh. Very cool. No, that's great that you got involved with it too, and you've had some history with it too, with bodybuilding. Yeah.
And the Louisiana bodybuilding community is really strong and amazing. And it's a pleasure to be associated with them in any way, shape, or form. So it's been a great experience with that too.
I did get to see the Optimum in
Oh,
2023,
in,
and
in Shreveport. Yeah.
that was a great show too. I liked it. Yeah.
Great show. I watched it on. Yeah, it's a wonderful show. They put on great shows in Louisiana. It's really proud to be from here.
That's awesome. And New Orleans is such a cool city too. Um,
It is.
I was curious, do you have a fitness role model or anybody in sport you really look up to?
I don't really have a fitness role model, but the person that I looked up to when I started was Monica Brandt.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
and I was really into her. And then, of course, I love women and men all the way through, but I haven't really. I found that if I pick someone that I was really enamored with, it didn't allow. I'm trying to think best how to articulate it. They don't always have the same physique as you, and so you're looking at something that you can't really attain. And so I really kind of just keep to myself. Obviously, I speak with people and enjoy being with them and get ideas and all sorts of feedback and love being with other competitors, but never really had a role model or anything like that.
Sure, I understand. No, I think that's cool. Yeah. Um, the I was curious, was it tough for you at that your first show to get up on stage in a bikini? Was it kind of nerve-wracking for you?
Um, yes and no. So the one thing that's gotten me through every prep from the first to the last is that I don't cheat. Like I am on it. I don't skip a rep. I don't have an extra bite. I don't like and that gives me a lot of comfort that I've done everything that I can to get on stage. My first time I was nervous because I did not know how to pose. And I was like, are these ballerina arms? I was in figure. And
Uh-huh.
Dexter Jackson was actually there. And he said to me afterwards, you are probably the worst poser I've ever seen in my life. True story. And I
Oh,
said, yeah, but you remembered me.
uh-huh.
I didn't even realize that I had to do posing. Like, I mean, how I got second, I have no idea.
Uh-huh.
Um, I hadn't thought about that in a long time with Dexter, but that was super funny. So I was nervous in that sense,
Okay.
but I have zero stage fright. I want to be on that stage. I'm ready to attack. It is my favorite thing. I have zero nerves, totally calm. That part's not a problem for me. Of course, the first time since I was getting judged in a bikini and that's what it was a little nerve wracking and not knowing that, but it wasn't like I don't have stage fright.
That's cool. Very cool. I thought you
You can
look
probably tell.
well, you looked so confident at the Clash, I thought too. You could you definitely look very confident up on stage.
Thank you. I want to say about the clash with the other women on stage. I saw your interview with Lynn, and we were also with Leanne, and what a fantastic time the three of us had. It was magical. And I'm not even talking about the win. Lynn and I met each other in Planet Fitness that morning and started bonding. It was really, really magical.
That's
Just the
awesome.
three of us together. It was just fun being up there with them. That whole show was incredible from start to finish, but I know we're getting into that later.
And those are the three women that were in the 50 plus division, right? For Klash?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're amazing ladies too. All three of y'all looked really, really terrific. So
We had a lot of fun together.
that's terrific. Yeah. Lynn was really neat. I enjoyed my interview with her.
I loved your interview with her. I had no idea she was a water skier. Hello.
I know, isn't that interesting? I thought that was really
So
neat.
cool.
Yeah. I've never had a water skier on the podcast
And
before.
I loved it. That was so cool. And the wooden skis, I loved all of it. Sorry, I could go off, but she's so much fun.
I like her accent too. It's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's adorable.
I know.
And Leanne was great as well. She was a hoot.
I need to reach out to her for an interview too. She's kind of a legend in the sport. She's
For
been
sure. She is
competing for a long
amazing.
time. Yeah, she's awesome.
I should
Um,
text her.
yeah,
I'm gonna
definitely.
reach
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, tell her to talk with me. I would love to talk with her. Yeah.
My thing about competing and these women backstage is, yeah, we're competing, but there should be a camaraderie as well. Like, I love other competitors. I want us to be together and enjoy each other. There's room for all of us. I know
Yeah.
everybody wants to win, but
There-
it's, okay to be kind to people too.
oh yeah, definitely. Well, there's so few people that get to your level, in terms of bodybuilding too. I mean, it's so I think that makes
True.
you even a tighter unit, it to
You would hope.
yeah, because y'all can relate to each other and everything too. So and y'all went through all the sacrifices as well.
Right?
Yeah. So
Some of my closest friends that I've made have been through competing in like 2015. We're all still together.
really? Oh, terrific. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. That's great. Um, now, so what was your experience like at the Clash? Did you really enjoy that show? And as I mentioned, you won the Masters 50 plus division, so I bet you were thrilled with that.
Never expected it. So I had taken a 2-year hiatus. I had done Legions Fest and I had had a really, really rough prep.
Oh,
Just because I was from one show to another. I'm sorry, what?
oh no, no, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Really rough prep. And really rough show. Just nothing was smooth by nobody's fault, just the way it kind of panned out.
Hmm.
And I was sitting in the makeup chair, which was not fun and late. Like, it was just all a mess. And I looked at myself and I said, this isn't fun. And like, I'm
Hmm.
getting ready to go on stage. And this is normally when I'm gleeful and giddy and joyful. And,
Yeah.
your adrenaline's pumping at showtime. And I was like, I hate this. And I
Hmm.
was like, okay, this is not what you're supposed to be joyful. And so I
Yeah.
took a 2-year break.
Okay. Yeah. I got
Because
you.
I realized I was really burned out. And like, if you're not having fun, what's the point?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely.
And I just gotten too serious and bogged down. And these were all problems that I brought on to myself. I'm not putting them on anybody else's. This is a me problem.
Okay. Yeah.
So that 2-year break was necessary. So I ended up getting shoulder surgery
Okay.
almost immediately after the show. And then I did 2 years off. And then I started training with a coach, an opposing coach, with Andrew Vu and with Ashley Jones. And they are magnificent and changed everything. My physique, all of it. I mean, I had a really good base. I'm not, it just changed it. And I had the most balanced, joyful, scrumptious, fun, amazing prep I've ever had. The show, the prep, all of it was just joy.
Wow, great.
Of course, there are moments of like, but like, food has come so far in taste. Options are so much more. Like, you don't have to eat the same. I mean, you eat the same thing, but you can jazz it up now with other stuff, like Elevate Cream of Wheat. Holy moly, did that change my life?
Nice. Yeah, very
No,
cool.
I'm being serious. I'm not sponsored by them, but that chocolate cream of wheat rocked my world.
All right. Nice. Nice. That sounds good.
I mean, that 2 year, and then Lynn and Joe ran the most smooth show I've ever been a part of, and I've been so much so that I wrote him a thank you note, not for winning, but just everything. I think you could probably tell from the was calm. It
Yeah.
was just it's smooth. It was smooth. Everybody was friendly. Everybody was chill backstage. There was no anxiousness. I mean, a little nerves, but like makeup was on time. Tanning. It was the best show. A plus, 100% from top to bottom. Any way you look at it, it was perfection. And I would have said that if I'd come in last.
Nice. That's terrific. Wow. Yeah, as a fan, I thought the Clash was great, and I was a little worried that it was just a one-off. Was they're not inviting the pros back again next
Yeah,
year? And I was like, or at least pro women's physique, but I wish it would come back again for next year because it's
I know.
yeah.
It
Um,
was something. And we had an amazing moment, actually, a few of us before, where Natalia brought us all together and we had this like uplifting pep talk
nice.
beforehand. That was like four of us. That was, the things that happen backstage are incredible. And like that was a moment I'll never forget, just sitting there and bonding and talking about how far we've all come and her just giving us this inspirational pep talk.
That's awesome. That you're talking about Natalia Coelho?
Yes.
Oh yeah, she's amazing, isn't she? Yeah, she's
Oh,
great.
and just so nice. And so is her mother.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
For
really inspiring, I think, too.
sure.
Um, so I know 2 weeks later, you competed at the Atlantic Coast show in Fort Lauderdale, and you got seventh in the Masters 50 plus. There was a lot more women in that division
What
that
I am
show.
proud as hell of that seven. I will take that seven all day long and run with it. Are you kidding me? I was standing up there, and all I could think about is look at these 10, 50 plus women up here just serving it. Like, I could not have been more proud to stand there with those women,
Yeah,
period.
that was amazing. That was a great lineup for that show for sure. And
Unbelievable.
yeah, that's great. What was your experience like at that show with and how did it compare to Clash, if you don't mind me asking?
Nothing will compare to that Clash.
Yeah.
That show was it was exceptionally run. I mean, the makeup, like everything was just. I've never seen a show run like that.
Hmm.
Gary Udit does run a great show as well. I enjoyed the Atlantic Coast. It was a little bit more stressful, and there were some glitches, but it was a great show.
One thing that was kind of weird was like trying to get there because the cruise ships were right there, and then they were taking
Right?
up all the parking and all these
Yeah,
huge
yes,
lines, all the construction
yes.
going on. It was like a little chaotic over there, I thought, but
It, and all of the things going on with the stages and around. I mean, like we were peeking through, watching them do the battle axes and stuff on the other
oh,
stages and the
oh,
jousting. There's so many other things going on. So
I
like you would go
know
to the restroom and you go look at another event. It's it's a
those.
real big what's it called when they have the other stuff?
Oh, it's like the
It's
expo.
expo. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
That
That was
hard word.
it was interesting. Yeah, that's the bodybuilding stage was like back in the corner of the expo,
Mhm.
and yeah, all the other sports going on, and I think the battles combat sports with the armor and stuff was like right next to the bodybuilding.
Right next to it. We're all like, hey.
You could hear the clang and the clash, clang, clang.
Totally.
That's
I
awesome.
love that there's a place for everybody.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I love that too. I like that.
Uh-huh. It was great to watch other competitors doing their thing in these little subsets of stuff. It's super cool.
It is. I like that too.
So that was fun. But it ran a little late, and I mean, little things do, but it was just a little bit tougher of a show. It wasn't a show, but any show after that Clash was exceptional.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It really was. I liked it a lot too, and I could tell speaking to the other ladies that were there that it really was a really good show. So, um, that's very
Yeah,
cool.
the expediters, everybody. You knew what you were doing before you walked on stage. Like it was just well run.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that's good. Um, and like I said, it's too bad that Clash isn't continuing with women's physique.
I know.
We need to get them to do it again.
I know. Maybe we'll have to write like a letter, get some campaign letter writing going.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
Old school.
Um, I was curious, where do you hope to compete next? Are you going to stick with women's physique? You have a great look for women's physique, I think.
Thank you. So I was in figure for a long time, and everyone told me, including my coaches and posing coaches before my recent ones, that I should be in women's physique. And I said, no, 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 because I refused to give up those heels. I loved those heels and I thought I needed them. But I finally did go into women's physique, and it turned out it was the right place for me because I love to dance. So having
Yeah.
that routine is everything for me. And it
Hmm.
turns out that quarter turns are my weakest poses,
Okay.
which I learned through Ashley. I mean, and constantly going through it. I dedicated so much time for Klash on my posing, and I had never really done it as intensive as I did with Ashley.
Okay.
I had great posing coaches before that, but it was more like once in a while or once a month. I met with Ashley weekly because that's
Oh,
how
did
bad
you?
my posing was.
Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I mean, we did take some breaks afterwards, but she had a lot to do.
Uh-huh.
So anything you saw up there was from her. She had a
Oh,
lot of work to do. So I want to give her a lot of credit.
that's
Um,
awesome.
so figure wasn't great for me because all I did was quarter turns.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. I I
So
um I just think women's physique is allows you more creativity because you get to do your posing routine and
show your personality.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And your posing was great at Clash. You did a good job. You look
That's
great.
better than the win. Like I posed, I couldn't, I just had to dedicate my, but I made it fun. But like that posing makes a difference.
Yeah, it does.
I think, a lot of new competitors don't realize, and seasoned competitors. And by no means was my posing perfect, and I still have work to do, but it was 100% better than it used to be.
That's
Um,
awesome. Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's important to do the posing practice several weeks out too. Not just several weeks, several months out, maybe, just to
yeah, oh,
so
for sure.
you got it down for good and you get it, I think it
Oh,
really helps in the long run.
for sure, my light went out. Hold on, I'm going to put it back on.
Oh yeah, no problem.
There it is.
Um, no, I was curious in terms of when you earned your pro card, what I bet that was kind of a thrill for you, especially having competed for several years. But what was that experience like?
It was. So I had decided in my head that I was never getting a pro card
Hmm.
because I had been working at it for so long and I wasn't seeing anything. Of course, I was not in the right division. So
Yeah.
when I did figure and I tested out physique, and when I hung my figure shoes up, I did not cry. I was like, "See ya." I mean,
Uh,
I was ready to roll. I forgot the question now because I got so into my head.
oh no, but just in terms of earning that pro card, what was
Oh,
that
so
experience? Is
that
it?
pro card. So I never really dreamed that that was in the cards for me. And I likened it to
Oh,
being a backup dancer, that you
uh-huh.
still get stage time, you still have a lot of fun, you still look great, and that not everybody's meant to be the lead.
Yeah.
And I was secure in that. Of course, I wanted to win, but I was okay if I didn't. I went to that show, Masters USA, which was held in Scottsdale, Arizona, which was not normal for them. It's usually in California. My
Hmm.
husband's family lives in Tucson and Phoenix. So my in laws, my sister in law, my parents flew up, my children came up, my husband, everybody met in Phoenix. So I already knew something special was happening. It felt different. And I felt calm and excited. And this was like this was my second time I had ever done women's physique. So this was my
Okay.
second show.
Wow.
Um, and I loved my routine. It was near Christmas, so I did Jingle Bell Rock, and I did it I included some of the Mean Girls dance. They have a Christmas scene where they dance to Jingle Bell Rock, and I did some of their movements, and that was funny to me. And so I was like super comfortable, and it was crazy. It was surreal. Like it never dawned on me that it was really going to happen. And to have everybody there was just, it still doesn't feel real. For
Yeah.
real. Cause I really never dreamed it was in the cards for me as much as I wanted it, you
Yeah.
know?
I bet it was thrilling
And
for you.
And it was a double win. It was super hard to win because you have to win your category, then you have to win the overall. So you don't get a pro card if you win 50 plus. You have to,
Oh,
so I had to win 50 plus A. Then I had to go up against the ABC. I think there was a D winner and one, no, maybe it was ABC. And then I had to win that to win my pro card. So it
oh
was
wow.
really, so it was really surprising.
I bet your cheering section was thrilled for you too.
Can you imagine? I mean, and my first thought was, I did this and my whole family was here. Like,
That's awesome. Yeah. That's a special experience. That's something you'll never forget, I'm sure.
never forget.
That's
And then
awesome.
we went and had pizza in our room, and that was
Oh,
it
nice.
was fantastic. I mean, we all just hung out, and nobody could believe it.
That's so cool. That's so awesome, though. That's terrific.
It
Um,
was it was fun
a nice surprise for you too. That's really cool, huh?
for sure. I'm trying to get this light back on. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, that's okay. It's like a ring light type thing.
Yeah, and it keeps turning off. Right, but we'll just keep rolling.
Oh no, we're cool. Yeah. I was curious, did the judges at Clash or Atlantic Coast, did you seek out their feedback?
I
Um,
did.
what did they
I
say?
love feedback and critiques.
Yeah.
Um, they were very pleased with how I looked. My weak spots, of course, are my upper back, maybe a little glute, and my shoulders.
Okay.
But they didn't have much feedback other than that coming in. So that was great, but it's usually the same spots. I'm pretty small, so it's, important for me to build those areas up because I'm definitely usually one of the shortest people there. I'm 5 feet flat.
Yeah. What's your stage weight?
My stage weight this time, I think, was 119 ish,
Wow.
maybe 118, something like that. I'm normally about 130
Okay. Wow.
ish. Yeah.
That's
And
wow,
I
that's
was ready. I was show ready about a month ahead. I was ready and just kind of waiting.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
First
Great.
time ever. So it was great.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Yeah.
I think it was because I was calm.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah. And and for Clash to be such an excellent show too, that must have made it better for you, I bet, just to
And like, I definitely didn't think I was winning that. Like, I never went in there thinking, oh, I'm going to win. Like, that's just not, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I haven't been on the stage in 2 years. Let's see if you have fun. This is about, like I was just kind of, but Lynn was so great. And the experience was, I mean, like,
that's
yeah.
awesome. That's
I
so
will
cool.
say that when he put that tiara on my head, it was the first time I had ever gotten one. And I said to him, this is the greatest moment of my life.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
I
so
have been
cool.
waiting for this moment since I was 8 because I
Oh,
wanted to
that's
be Miss
so cool.
America.
Oh yeah. I bet that was
So
awesome. Bet that
it
felt
was,
really good.
as much as I love the win, him putting that on me that was it.
That's awesome. Yeah, the
Sometimes I
tiaras.
wear it around my house.
Oh, that really? Oh, that's awesome. That is really special though. I can understand that for sure. I think that's perfect.
Just the tiara.
I love that. I think that's cool.
Oh goodness, I'm a mess.
I was curious, is there any advice that you could provide to ladies watching who are seeking their pro card? I know it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, but any other tips you could provide?
um, I think people get too fixated on that pro card. Doesn't change your life. I don't know. I guess maybe because I'm older, it doesn't feel like that, but I kind of feel like you need to enjoy where you are and what you're doing and be in those moments and regularly check in to see if you are enjoying it. Why are you doing it? What is your why? And like really understand what it is because bodybuilding can get dark, it can get lonely, and you need to be mentally strong as well as physically strong and clear. I would say go see a show, talk to a lot of people, and really think about
Hmm.
how much
Hmm.
you want to sacrifice because it does take a lot of sacrifice, and you will lose friends. You will have to explain yourself a lot. And if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, that's going to get to me old and not be a success. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just saying you want a pro card, not, I don't, I was never a pro card chaser though. Clearly,
Mhm.
it took me 7 years and I was kind of happy where I was. And,
Yeah. Okay.
and for real, I had a little bit of sadness when I became a pro because a coach has said, and he is right, that once you become a pro, your chances of winning a show again are slim. So
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
usually they're big. Some people will win, some people won't, but like once you turn pro, then to get to that next level of pro, to that upper echelons with the Sarahs and the Sydneys and everybody, like, and Ashley and anyone, Andrew, like, that's a completely different level. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many different things, so you can't put all of your kind of stock into that.
Yeah.
And in a weird way, I was sad because I wasn't with my friends anymore.
Oh, yeah. I
And
understand.
I'm being serious. We would do like Masters Nationals together or Universe, and we could all be together and hang out. And I didn't have that anymore. And it was kind
Hmm.
of odd after
Yeah.
so long being with the same people. I didn't like not that I didn't like leaving them. That's not the right word, but it felt odd not to be with them
I
because you
understand.
had to
Yeah.
make new friends. You had to find your way. And I'm not for everybody, obviously, but I'm going to come up to you and try and make you talk to me.
Yeah, I got you. I understand. No, definitely. Um,
um,
no, that's cool. I was curious. I can't remember. I didn't ask you yet. Do you know where you want to compete next, or
well, I do know that I am going to take this year off
okay,
because I need to just get my body back in balance, get my brain back in balance. So I'll start training at the end of the year. And
okay,
one of the things I did learn during this last season was that I want to be done by September or Labor Day. I don't want to be in the fall competing anymore. So my
okay,
next show might be like Masters Pro in Pittsburgh or something to that extent.
okay.
Um, my husband and I have the same birthday in September, and I haven't really been able to celebrate my birthday except for those kind of 2 years. And I want to do that.
Yeah, I got you.
So
Yeah.
I
What
want to
about?
start enjoying those later things
Would you like to
in
do
the
Masters Olympia eventually? Do you think?
if they ever had a 50 plus. Let me just say, if I had Masters Olympia qualified, I 100% would have gone to Japan to do that, no doubt. But they don't have a 50s.
Yeah, I noticed. Then there's not an application procedure for women's physique, unfortunately, either. So I think
Mm.
it's just for women's bodybuilding and fitness that you can apply.
Why?
Yeah. I think they just because they think that those two divisions have fewer
Right.
opportunities. So, but yeah, I understand. I think it would be more fair to have all the divisions, be allowed to apply.
For
But
sure.
yeah, yeah. I hope you can get there though.
Me
And
too. I would love to do that. And the 50s I think are overlooked because we're 50s, but we have the time. Most of us have the money. It's an expensive sport. Where
yeah,
most of us are empty nesters now. We're in a different, we have time to dedicate to it. So I think they're missing their opportunity by not targeting the 50-year-olds.
yeah.
Um,
I think you're right about that too.
and 60 and 70s, they're smoking too.
I know. Yeah, I know. They're doing really good too. Yeah. And like I said, Atlantic Coast, I was impressed by the number that were in the 50 plus. I was like, geez, that's a lot of women in that. And
And everyone fire so good from
yeah,
first to last. Every position looked phenomenal.
yeah. I interviewed that woman
Proud.
who won that, Candace Carr, and I love her look. She's amazing.
I couldn't believe I was standing up there with them. It was so exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, that's how you should feel when you're on stage. It shouldn't be something that you dislike or
Yeah.
that is a grind. Yeah, it's a grind, but it's also super fun
Yeah,
and
definitely.
interesting.
It is. It's definitely interesting. Yeah.
You
Um,
learn so much about yourself and other people too.
yeah, no, I agree. Um, And well, we're going to talk about it later, but in terms of there's a lot of qualities that make it good for TV, so
Oh yeah, there are. Can you
uh-huh.
imagine if we will get into that? Okay, I'm not going to say.
No,
I'm going to
we'll
be
talk about
good.
it later. No, you mentioned Andrew and Ashley. Are they still kind of like your prep coaches or
Absolutely. Well, I'm taking a break, but yeah, 100%. They're my people, no doubt.
that's
It
awesome.
it was smooth.
Terrific. That's
And that's
great.
what you want in coaches for people who are looking for it. Someone who responds to you, someone who's caring about you. Whether they have 1,000 people or not, you should feel like they care about you and know who you are, and you're not getting a form. And Andrew couldn't be more personal and quick to respond. And
Hmm.
questions he asked me that I never thought about answering. He is the sensei. I am the
Yeah,
ninja, you know. And
I
it was
know.
all online. I never went to see him. I never saw him, and it was flawless.
That's terrific. Yeah. Now, did Ashley help you with posing too, or
Yeah, Ashley had the hardest job.
yeah?
Harder job than me. Harder job. She had the hardest job. Yeah, I saw Ashley once a week for almost 6 months.
Really?
That
Wow.
that's and let's just say that 3 months of that was quarter turns. That's how
Wow.
bad I was. I mean, I know, I mean, I won my pro card before her, but like, I mean, I was really not posing to my optimum
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
effect.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I will definitely be using them both for sure. And then on top of it, Ashley was at the Olympia in the middle. So we did take a little break, but I can't imagine her having to do that and deal with me and the other people. She
Oh
had her hands full. That's why she had it harder than I did. And
no.
damn, did she look good.
Oh, she
Oof.
did. I was really proud of her. She looked amazing, and she's really making a big statement in women's bodybuilding for
Is
sure.
she ever? Love it. I
Yeah.
love all the women in women's bodybuilding and what they're doing and how they're handling it.
Yeah, they're
100%.
amazing. Yeah, really amazing ladies for sure. Yeah,
For
I admire
sure.
them. Yeah, and Ashley's just really killing it. She could definitely be Ms. Olympia at some point here. So
She will be.
I
I have
think so.
no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
When the time is right, she's going to get it.
I think so too. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah.
It's going to
Now,
be fun watching the three of them, four really, because I really like that Sherry and all that. There are a lot of great bodybuilders, female bodybuilders.
I like Sherry too. Yeah, she looks terrific. She's got an amazing physique
Amazing.
and she's almost 50 now. I think 50 in May.
Hmm.
So she's really held her own.
Yeah, I mean, all of us coming up, we're not playing.
Yeah, I know. I
I'm
agree.
playing a little bit.
um, a friend of mine, Susan Graham, who's going to be doing Masters O, she's already qualified, but I'm really excited for her. And
Yeah.
she's going to do great, I think, in Tokyo. So I'm excited for
Can't wait to watch.
her. Um, I was curious, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of prep for you?
The most challenging aspect for prep for me is always being in my kitchen.
Oh, too much time in the
I
kitchen?
I feel like I'm always eating, prepping, cleaning, cooking, eating, like I just feel like and I prep in advance, but I feel like I'm always in my kitchen. And that is the toughest part for me.
Really?
I
Yeah.
would say like 75% of the time is in the kitchen. The rest is in the gym is fun.
Huh.
Like
Okay.
I don't, that part for me, and it's a lot of food. So eating that food, like sometimes I'd eat the food, then I have to start my next meal sometimes. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like the food for me was the meal. Yeah, being in my kitchen. That's the hardest part of prep for me, not the working out or the cardio. I enjoy that.
Really? Wow,
Yeah,
that's
I do.
cool.
I love to lift.
Huh.
It's kind of like running a marathon. If you don't like logging the competing is, the finish line is our marathons.
Yeah.
And like, if you don't like to do the training, I don't understand. That's like
Yeah, that makes sense. In terms of
I love to lift, period.
with the food, do you find the food to be a little bit too monotonous too?
No, I had great food. It wasn't monotonous at all.
No? Okay, cool.
Mm-mm. It was fantastic. I think
Yeah.
that's why it was such an easy prep. But yeah, just all the eating and the food and the cleaning the dishes and all the plastic, just that kind of stuff. I just get
Yeah.
over that.
Yeah, it gets kind of old after a while. Yeah, I understand that.
I
Getting
did
good.
I did like 16 weeks without an off meal and
Uh-huh.
didn't have a single craving.
Really?
Not
Wow.
one. Isn't
That's
that
amazing.
weird? It's because of
Yeah.
that cream of wheat and that cream of rice from Elevate. Again,
Oh.
not sponsored.
Oh yeah. It was good though, huh? Yeah.
You should try it. It's like chocolate peanut butter cup.
Really? Nice. That does
How can
sound really
prep be
good.
bad if you're getting chocolate and it's good for you?
Yeah, no, chocolate's really good. Yeah.
So
Um,
yeah, find the joys in the little parts of prep are definitely the way to go too.
yeah, I gotcha. I understand that. Yeah, I've heard that from other ladies too. I was curious, what advice can you give to ladies who are looking for a good coach?
Uh yeah, it's kind of like dating.
Yeah.
You might have to try a few before you find the one. I've been very lucky to have some two outstanding coaches. Been very fortunate. And what made them special was listening to your needs, keeping up with your blood work and your hormone levels, making sure everything is good in your body before you even start trying anything,
Mm,
kind of making sure you're healthy, kind
hmm.
of stuff. Um, to other advice to get into women into bodybuilding. So much advice. I'm trying to think about how to crystallize it or condense it down.
Sure.
We all need to lift, period, especially
Hmm.
women, whether you're going to compete or not, for osteoporosis and bone and all that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, don't be afraid to make a muscle. Go to a show, ask people if you like the look. Talk to people, ask them questions. Get
Yeah.
involved. I bet didn't answer your question at all, but I will think some more on
Okay.
it.
No, no, that was great though. I like that. That was good advice too. Um,
Definitely go to a show. Anybody who's interested, the first thing you do is got to go to a show. Then you start talking to people about coaches
yeah.
and make sure they respond to you, listen to your needs. It's okay to ask them questions. You're allowed to ask, questions and things like that. Why are you doing this? What is this for? Those are
Yeah.
all legit.
That's one thing I've noticed when I go to a bodybuilding show. A lot of times there's newbies there, so they just ended up explaining like what's going on stage because it's
Oh,
not really obvious, why they're placing them this way or why they're doing certain things, and so
sure.
I'm
The orders.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I think it's kind of interesting to talk to people who are new to the sport, but and that's why going to a show I think makes a lot of
And
sense.
it
Yeah,
would bring attendance up at the shows too.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
exactly. Hmm.
it and I do think that it is becoming a little bit more mainstream, especially now that they're going to have this fit model
Hmm.
category, even lower barrier of entry for people to get in,
Hmm.
which makes the sport, so it's accessible to even more people to start and climb through. So, like, these people
That's
should go
true.
to a show, see what it's like, talk to other competitors, bring their friends, ask about teams if you want to be a part of a team. you
Hmm.
know, that wasn't something that I wanted to do in the sense of going down and having group workouts. I work out by myself. I do not train with anybody. I have a home gym.
Okay.
I like to
Yeah,
be solitary in that way. I know people
sure.
love to go out to gyms. I stopped doing that after COVID. I realized that it was great to be at home and
Yeah.
not wait for a machine is pretty nice.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but
Wait.
you gotta, yeah, don't just look at magazines and see someone at a gym and say, like, okay, I'm gonna do that, and then pick the first person. You gotta research it.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
people who are calling themselves coaches who have competed once or twice are not coaches.
no. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's true.
I
What do you
mean,
think
they're just
about
not.
in person versus like coach versus somebody, through online?
I think it's amazing if you can go see your coach in person.
Hmm.
I think it's the best to have someone's eyes on you so they can see you. but it also works great on Skype. They can see you on Zoom. I did only check-in pictures in the same lighting every time. I tried to make it
Hmm.
super consistent so he could see. Um, and Ashley would also sometimes, be able to inform Andrew a little bit of, she needs, she may not be looking so good because she could see, she saw me a lot live, not in person, but online. Um, yeah, if you have a great coach that can see you in person, heck yeah.
Yeah,
Or if you could fly and go see your coach, absolutely. But online has worked great for me as well.
I like how Lynn Elm talked about the in-person coach is good because they can see what's jiggling.
And that's exactly right. She is right. Ah, she is exactly right. It,
I like that.
it is true.
I thought that was cute though too.
She's
Said it
she,
with her southern
she
accent.
nailed it. Oh, yeah.
Oh man. So I was
Yeah,
curious.
go to shows.
Yeah, go to shows. Yeah, definitely. I definitely encourage people to do that. Now, do you have a full-time job outside of bodybuilding?
So I did until about 2021, but I've retired since then. So no,
Oh, very cool.
which is almost unfair, I would say, having done both. Having
Yeah.
worked a full-time job and have kids and train, and then to no kids, no job and train, not the same.
Yeah, I understand. What did you do for work before?
I was a group fitness and personal trainer. So
Oh
I
yeah,
worked at the JCC for about a decade, and then I moved to Orange Theory for a while. Uh, and
cool.
then and now nothing. I do miss it sometimes, but
Yeah.
because I love being with people. Um, but it was much easier to train not having any other obligations for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. And you're empty nester too. Your kids have
I
moved
mean,
on.
my
Yeah.
kids have, yeah. So, like, it used to be wake up early, train, get them ready for school, go to work, come home, get everything ready, get dinner ready, go to their sports, do my extra, like how most people have to do it who
Yeah.
are doing it. And then to be like, I'll train at 10, I guess, or I'll train it, not to have any of those constraints is almost
Yeah.
unfair.
I got you. I understand that. Yeah. Yeah. That's good though. That I mean,
I
you're
mean,
trying to.
lucky me, but I do realize that I'm grateful that I was in that position for sure.
Yeah, I got you. I totally understand that. No, I understand that for sure. But yeah, no, I think it's good. It'll help you focus and improve too your physique. I mean, and have more time for that too.
Right. And I got to rest more and I slept more, which was interesting. Like everything was different.
Yeah,
And it's, um, I'm sure helped me with my prep as well.
yeah, it helped you win the Clash too. So,
That's
uh-huh.
still so crazy to me.
Uh-huh.
That is still so crazy to me.
Now I was
I
curious.
still like my seventh too, by the way. I'm really proud of that seventh at Atlantic
Oh
Coast.
yeah, at Atlantic Coast. Yeah, that was a tough the division for sure. I know.
I was
It
really proud.
was a good show. Yeah,
Hmm.
you look great there too.
Thank you. Had so
Um,
much fun.
now I was curious, is your husband supportive of your bodybuilding career, and is he a bodybuilder himself? I was curious.
He is not a bodybuilder. He is my number one supporter. Unbelievable. Helps me with everything. He doesn't cook my meals or anything, but un, unwavering support, as do my children and my parents and my siblings and my
Nice.
friends. I've been very lucky. My parents came around. I had to, at first they were like, what's going on here in 2007,
Uh-huh.
but they love it.
That's
they
awesome.
they come to my shows, fully support me, show my picture to everybody. Like, yeah, they're into
That's
it. I think
terrific.
they're proud that I'm active now.
Oh, that's great though. And I hear, on this podcast, folks whose families are not supportive, and I
I
think
know.
makes a world of difference when they do support you.
World of difference.
Yeah.
It's a very sacrificing sport. And one time in Florida, I saw a thing that said sweat plus sacrifice equals success, which is a
Mm,
common thing, but it really hit me to my core. And it was right when I was starting in 2007, excuse me. And it stayed with me all the way through Legions. How much am I willing to sacrifice? And I
Yeah.
pretty much sacrificed a lot. I mean, we all do. I am not special in any which way. We all sacrifice.
Hmm.
But at Legions, before that, when I was so upset, you know, before the show, and I looked good. Like there's no, it wasn't like I wasn't ready. Um, I don't know. I just forgot again what I was going to say.
Oh, no, no worries.
I get lost in my own little memories sometimes. I have a very
Yeah.
active imagination.
Oh, that's cool.
Um,
I like that.
but yeah, it go on. I'm sorry. We'll move on from there.
No, no worries. No, I just think it's great that your family's so supportive. Now, I was curious because I think you're the first bodybuilder I've spoken with from who lives in New Orleans. And I was wondering
Yay.
if there's kind of a supportive bodybuilding community there.
There's a fantastic bodybuilding community here.
Hmm.
The Tesoviches are in it, and Bubby Lupo is here, and there are lots of strong NPC IFBB pros in Louisiana. They do
Yeah,
wonderful workshops, like definite strong bodybuilding community here. I
great.
used to work for the NPC and help expedite for their shows as well.
Oh, did you? Oh, very,
Yes, I
yeah.
haven't in a couple of years, but it was super fun. It's a great community. I'm very happy to be a part of it.
I remember when Greater Gulf States had pro women's physique, and I remember the
I
year
do too.
Danny Reardon competed there, and she's just one of my favorites. She's just so amazing.
That
I
was
know
a
that,
while ago.
yeah, a long time ago, almost 10 years ago maybe, and but I loved her look, and I know she's not competing anymore, but it'd
Hmm.
be great to
That
see
is
her come back.
that would be. I would love to see Greater Golf have pros again too. I would totally go.
Yeah, that was always a good show. It really was, and
Now it's
um
in the Optimum.
yeah, now, yeah, up in Shreveport, and I
Hmm.
have been to one of those, and that was a good show too.
Yeah.
One of the weirdest things about Shreveport, just a weird aside, was that I've never been
There
to
are
a
lots
show.
of weird things about Shreveport and anywhere else.
Well, it was weird. Like I'd never been to a show where you had to go through like metal detectors,
Oh, I
and
didn't know
and
that.
well, it was because of the fact that they had the high school graduation going on at the same time at the
Mm.
convention center. So I think there was some beefs, between gangs or some bullshit like that. So it was so weird though. And some of the ladies had trouble getting like their protein powder through the security, and it was just it was kind of weird. And
Yeah, like that's
then
not smooth. That doesn't go.
no.
That's not as smooth. I'm sure that. Uh,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. You never know what's going to happen in a show. You could. I've been at NPC shows where I've had to wait 5 hours to go on stage.
Wow.
Like even in the morning. Like it can. Show day is grueling.
I
It's a
bet.
long day. I like to say
Yeah.
it's hurry up and wait, hurry up, wait, hurry up,
Yeah.
wait, kind of thing.
And you have to get up so early too. That could be tough to do.
It's a
Yeah.
long day. It's
Yeah.
a long day. It's a fun day though.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. That's cool that I know a competitor who said the show day is kind of like a wedding because
Oh,
your folks are coming to see you, your supporters and your
I
friends,
love that.
and you're getting all dolled up, and
I think of it as pageant day. It's my
yeah,
pageant day.
it is. It's kind of
I
like
was
that.
gonna wave on that stage. I have so much fun up there. I love that shit. I love that stage so much. I
That's
love it.
awesome. Very cool. I think that's terrific. Um, and you gotta love what you do, so I think that makes sense.
Right. Which is why I had to take those 2 years off because I was not loving it. And
Hmm.
it's my passion, obviously, but it's also my hobby. So if it's not gonna
Yeah.
really make joy or fun or bring worthwhile experiences to myself, I'm not, that's when you have to stop. And I think people
Yeah.
are just too serious in it sometimes now because they're just thinking about that pro card.
Yeah,
And
I got you.
and
Yeah.
they need to
Hmm.
broaden their thoughts a little bit on that. And then the pro card will come probably.
Yeah,
That's
I
how
got
it
you.
worked for me
Yeah,
after
definitely.
so long.
No, I agree with you on that. I think that's important. And yeah, you gotta love it too. I think that makes sense. Um,
And like that other coach said, if you win and become a pro, your chances of winning another show are slim. And I don't think that people recognize that because they think,
mhm,
that you're basically back at the beginning.
mhm. Exactly. Yeah, you're kind of starting off at the bottom and
Mhm.
you don't even really
And
think
there's
about
nothing
that.
wrong with that. Yeah, everybody's got to
Yeah.
have that day one. We don't all explode out into the first place in our first time,
Yeah, that's
kind
good.
of.
Hmm.
And like I said, I never expected anything ever to. My thought was all I want to do is perform my routine. All I want
Hmm.
to do is get up there and like if I can get there and do my routine, I'm happy. So when I saw
Yeah.
that it was three of us, I was like, yes, I'm doing my routine.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That was exactly what I thought. That
Yeah, because you don't always get to do it because
right.
there's too many ladies in the division.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're not top five, then you don't get to do your routine, which is totally fine.
Yeah, yeah.
But
What,
that was my goal is just let me do my routine.
oh no, that's true. Yeah, I bet that was nice to get to do that, especially after all the work I'm sure you put into it too. Um, Now I was curious, you talked about your kids. How old are they? And I imagine they support you too as a muscle mama.
They are unbelievably supportive, just as much as my husband. They are my son turned 25 on January 6th, and
Mm,
my other son is 22. He'll be 23 in April.
wow.
They both surprised me at the Clash. I did not know that they were going to be there. I thought it was just going to be me and my
Oh,
husband.
uh-huh.
And then my son flew in from LA and walked in the door, and I was like, what? And then my other son came up from Miami, but he told me he had a work trip, which I believed. And then he showed up, and I was like, what is going on?
Oh, wow. I bet
Yeah,
that
they're
was a thrill for you, I bet.
and they yell so loud and they've always come and I was worried how
Mm,
they would react younger, which is why I took that break from 2007 to 2015
yeah, yeah,
because I wanted them. I mean, I know it sounds a little weird because they were older, but I felt like they could handle my training schedule. They were more independent. They didn't need me as much.
yeah.
They had school sports and things like that. And it was important for me to have something of my own at that time. So I wasn't just working, being a mother and being a wife. I needed to have my own outlet and interest.
Hmm.
And while I was lifting through all those years, it's always good to then have that goal. And it was great because obviously I didn't win a lot. It depends on what your definition of winning is. If your definition of winning is coming up first, I didn't do that. I did that twice.
Hmm.
I did
Yeah,
that at Masters USA and I did that at Clash.
yeah.
So, like when they would say, you don't know how it feels to train for a game and then lose, I would say, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
And they understood that I had empathy for, like, it was a great bonding for us, like to
Yeah.
be pursue and for them to see me pursuing something that was just for me. I didn't do it for them. They enjoyed it. It was not any, it was 100% for me.
I bet, yeah, I bet you inspired them too, I think
They, they are, yeah, they eat super clean. They follow, they cook their own meals. They go to the gym regularly. I mean, they were active growing up and all of that, but they ask me questions all the time. It's been great. They're
do you,
unbelievable supporters.
do you think they'll pursue bodybuilding too, maybe?
I think one of them might, but he says he won't, but I think he will.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
cool.
do. I think one might in the end do it, but we'll see. Whatever their interests are, I'll support them, just like they supported me. But it
That's
was
awesome.
thrilling to win that show and have my two sons there screaming for me.
Yeah, I bet. Especially you didn't expect them to be there. That's nice.
No. And they're laughing hysterically at some parts when I'm doing my routine, and I could hear them laughing at me with me. You know what I'm saying? And like that was joyful kind of thing. Like having them see me have a good time was, and kind of how it bounced back and forth was special.
That's sweet. No, that's really cool. I'm glad that they were there for you and surprised you like that. That's great.
Yeah, I embarrass them in way worse ways than standing on stage in a small bikini.
Oh, Uh-huh.
Believe me, that's the lowest level of embarrassment for them.
That's sweet. That's cute. Oh
They're
man,
good boys.
that's awesome. They sound like really supportive too. So,
They are. I'm super lucky.
I just have a few more questions for you. I was curious, what do you think is like the most misunderstood aspect of bodybuilding by the general public?
I think for women, the most general misconception is if you lift, you're going to get bulky.
Mm,
Okay,
mhm.
so like just so they wouldn't even get into it. Also, I feel like people assume that it's out of their reach or out of something they could never do,
Mhm.
and that's anyone. Like before, I was saying bodybuilding is so inclusive. Anybody can do it.
Yeah,
It is an expensive sport, but you can do it if you're willing to put in a little time and effort and see how your body can change in different ways. Or for women, for me, it was also great to get over a lot of body image issues
okay, yeah,
just by training and eating.
uh-huh,
Having been someone who was heavy before, I
yeah,
would always starve myself. I learned that I was supposed to eat more, kind of thing, and that my shape is my shape, regardless of the size. The things are proportioned, but they still, they go up and down. Like I can work my shoulders as much as I can. They're always going to be not someone else's shoulder size. They can only grow so big,
yeah,
and yeah, yes.
that's
um, Go on.
I gotcha. No, I think that's good note about that anybody can really do it and
Yeah,
you can
and you
inspire
should
other
try.
people.
You can, and it's never too late. Like the
Yeah,
50s, like I was saying, these 50s and 60s, I didn't start until I was like 34. I started super late with no experience. I
yeah,
think that people think you have to go down paths that you don't want to go, and you don't. We all know, I
yeah,
think you know what I'm talking about. I think women
hmm
are probably very overwhelmed with the process and
hmm
thinking that it's something. And I think people make it more complex than it really is. It's really
mm,
quite simple.
mm.
And I don't mean easy, but like if you follow your coach's plan, you're good.
Yeah, I think that's
Like if you have a
right.
good coach, you just have to stay calm, trust the process, eat your food, do your workout, and do your life. It doesn't have to be much theatrical or crazy or whatever. It does have its highs and its lows, but anyone can try it. And
Yeah,
what your definition of winning is different for everyone. So my definition of winning was getting up there in the bathing suit and getting a hold of like, this is my body and this is what it looks like and I'm going to accept it. And that was freeing. I mean,
hmm
anyone can do that.
yeah, I like that. Yeah,
you know
that's a
Test
good point.
yourself, push your boundaries, and if you don't like it, you don't have to do it again.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
But
Yeah,
if it's mildly interesting to you, maybe you take 6 months and try, maybe you take 3 months, maybe you go into fit model or something. But I think that people need to ask questions and realize that we're not all raging lunatics or meatheads or
hmm
totally consumed and all in, which you can be. But I find that's
yeah,
a recipe for disaster.
yeah, yeah. I got you. You got to be, yeah, you got to be balanced in your life, and yeah,
I took dance classes all week. Like I made sure this last prep that I had other interests going on. Of course, I had the time because like I wasn't working and things like
yeah,
that.
uh-huh.
But like not letting it become all consuming to me is really key.
I think that, yeah, it makes sense. I think that, yeah, definitely. I understand that.
But if you see somebody in your gym who has great arms, go talk to them and say, like, what's up? Are you like,
Uh-huh.
don't be afraid. Use your mouth, use your voice. Let's go. People will talk to you and answer those questions.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, that's my kind of goes into my next question. But you mentioned having the home gym, but do you have a gym that you go to in New Orleans too?
I don't.
No?
I have a little gym in my backyard.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't.
Oh,
So I'm very lucky that again, like I don't even have to get in my car to go anywhere. I am super duper lucky. But I did go before to Planet Fitness for my other ones to train before I had the gym in my house. I would do Planet Fitness and Anytime Fitness.
I was going to ask you about New Year's resolution, folks, but you don't have to deal with that really,
No, it's great.
because they
And
could.
I hope some of them stay.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's yeah. I hope that they stay but then the bodybuilders that are there, be nice
Be
and
nice. I actually think that when people go to a gym and they're like, oh, I don't want to be around all those bodybuilders and whatever. I actually think the bodybuilders are the most accepting of the new people coming in. They're fired up to see you and they
yeah.
want you to do well and they want to help you. They're
Hmm.
not the people who you have to be worried about.
Yeah, I got you.
We're the ones who want to help and are there to answer questions most of the times, not while we're working out, but maybe in between our sets. But,
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
Uh-huh.
I find them to be actually the most welcoming. I know they were when I was getting started,
Okay,
and people
cool.
could tell that I was training for a show. Like I said, the community was very strong. People would come up to me and be like, I am so and so, are you doing a show? And, go up to people. And that was really helpful.
That's cool. Yeah. That's kind of nice to hear that. I've seen a few bodybuilders post about, be nice to these new people and, in the hopes that they will stay and maybe they will
For
come later
sure.
but I can see
And
where
yeah,
the
and fitness comes in all shapes and sizes. So we're
yeah,
not all bodybuilders out here. And I think people also have to remember we only
that's
look a
true.
certain way for 2 weeks out of the year, most of
Yeah.
us.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah,
You
it's
know?
not really healthy to be looking, you know, jacked and ripped the whole year anyway, really. I mean, so
Right. I mean,
yeah.
you can't even maintain it. So, I mean, I
Uh-huh.
can't. I always put on weight afterwards, and I'm happy to put that weight back on. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah, no, no, it's just part of the process, I think. So,
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, I always look at that body as temporary.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, no, and um, when in terms of misperceptions, I think that some people don't necessarily realize that looking in from the outside looking in at bodybuilding, that you have to have that off season to be healthy um, and need to grow too, to be more competitive sometimes too. So,
For sure. And
yeah,
I'm always worried about how much more can I grow because my frame is so small. I don't know how much muscle I can really more put on, especially at my age. I'm trying, but it's hard. It takes a long time for that muscle to come in.
yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But then there's that muscle maturity as well that looks nice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And one of the other things I don't know if people know is how we get glued and glazed in the back. I don't know if
Oh,
competitive. So
talk
when we're
about that.
backstage, so I can only talk about really my experience with it, but being 54, when I lean down, I have a lot of hanging skin, especially in my glute area.
Yeah.
So so it's a lot of smoke and mirrors too, which is I love to tell people this because they're all like, "Oh my God, you look like that." I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of do. I mean, I do, but backstage when you get tanned, right? And then before you go on stage, backstage they have people who glaze you and they give you a little shine on your body and they glue your suit down. So
Yeah.
like your boobs don't pop out or your thing doesn't slide open and you're exposed to everybody.
Yeah.
But when you turn around for your booty, when you're old, what they do is they take your booty and they lift it up and they spray it with glue and then they put the suit on and the skin doesn't hang anymore. So you have like these
Oh,
little
yeah.
tricks and tips that you learn to pull your extra skin up kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So like all of that was hidden in my tiny little suit. But
Uh,
that was, your glute drops. That's just what it does when you're 54 and you lose weight. You lose a little money, So like there are all sorts. So like, don't go in there think, look, there are some perfect bodies out there that don't have to have their asses put into their suit with glue, for sure.
yeah. I
But there are
got
a
you.
lot of women who do,
Yeah, I
and I
got
am
you.
one of those women. So just know that nobody, even people who win shows, don't have perfect bodies.
Yeah, I got
And
you.
I think it's important for women to know that again, it's 2 weeks out of the year for me that I look like that. And when people come up to me and compliment me, I love that. But I also want to make sure that they understand that that is not my base reality. Now, look,
Yeah.
I am lean year round, but like this,
Uh-huh.
I'm 130. I'm not 119.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think it's good to have a real off season and yeah, just and kind of live like a normal person too, because it's
I don't
tough.
even know how to do it. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, you have some fun afterwards, but and I know Lynn said this too, but eventually, like, even though I'm not doing a show, I'm back on my plan.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like I'm eating just like I ate, when I was building.
Uh-huh.
Because, it gets old having those like it feels I like structure in that way. So it feels very comforting for me to just know, okay, now I'm not doing 6 meals, but because like I said, I don't like being in my kitchen that much, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
close.
6 meals. Yeah,
Oof.
that'd be a lot.
I had 6 meals to the day I got on stage.
Wow, really? Wow.
Yep.
That'd be tough. Yeah. Be choking all that food down, be like,
It was
oh.
incredible. It was really incredible. I learned so much.
Um, I was curious, how do you think we can get more people to show up at bodybuilding shows? I know, a lot of times the shows I've been to, there's just not a really good crowd for the pros, which seems kind of weird. And then, or they're just not very loud. They're not really cheering for the people or the athletes. But what do you think in terms of how can we get more people to come to the shows?
I totally agree with you. The NPC shows used to be rocking and rolling for sure. And I know, I mean, obviously I'm in New Orleans. We had a bar at ours. I mean, they were packed and drunk. I mean, like it was super fun.
Really?
Yeah. And I feel like families travel for NPC shows for some
Mhm.
reason, and I don't feel like they travel for IFBB shows. So I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
you have your extended family as much. I think that everybody's kind of like over it. Do you know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like,
Yeah, I got
I
you.
don't know. So I feel like the IFBB don't get as many because they don't have bring their teams, the families with them as much. I don't have any
Yeah,
proof of that.
that's
The
true. I think you're right
NPC,
about that.
I loved when people would be yelling out numbers and screaming. It would be so exciting. And as a competitor on the stage, it's awesome. Like
I
you want
bet.
to hear that, and I can hear my family completely. I mean, because they're loud, and like you said, there are not many other people there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think that we need to bring in the people who are asking to come in and see, and of course, I want to do that. I think we should do that on Netflix. Should I say
Yeah.
that?
Do
Okay,
that. Yeah. Do like a Netflix reality show.
right. I think
Like,
that they should follow some up and comers. I think they should follow Ashley. I think they should follow the top three of women bodybuilding for sure.
yeah.
But come
Yeah.
on, everybody still wants just pumping iron, right?
Uh-huh.
Like
Yeah.
it's the gold standard. Why can't there be something like this in Netflix, streaming someplace, following people and their journey, going to their shows, culminating in the Olympia for the IFBBs and for the other ones? I think it'd be super cool and people would be into it.
I think so
Um,
too. Yeah.
I would love to get it back on TV because it's exciting and it's pageantry, and like the
Yeah.
Olympia has been fire the past 2 years. It has been the best reality television ever. Look,
Yeah.
I didn't like that the women got hurt 2 years ago, but when with Missy and like I don't want people to get hurt. But there
Yeah.
were so many backstories and like so many
Uh-huh.
things going on, and it's so exciting. So I don't understand, why is there not the muscle mommies, like you were saying, show? I mean, why
Uh-huh.
can't we be the Real Housewives of weightlifting?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, definitely. The
I've
real
never seen an episode of the Real Housewives of any season, FYI. Just as an
oh,
aside.
they're
But
kind of hard
like,
to they're not very good. I don't like watching them, but if
oh,
they were
people are gonna
bodybuilding,
get mad. People love those. But
if,
like that kind of stuff. Like, why can't,
yeah.
like, there are lots of us who are friends who roll around and get into shenanigans together. And I
Yeah.
think people are interested with the way food is now. You can get so many gluten-free, keto, low carb, like the options are endless. And I think people want to see, how is it really done? What really is a day in the life like of a bodybuilder? And I think if they followed that Formula One series, how they did that, I think that it could be a
Hmm.
huge market,
How
men
about
and women.
how, how about the Swole Housewives of Los Angeles or something?
Oh
That
my Got to go trademark that right now. Nobody can take that. I heard it here.
I think it would work. I like it,
It
huh?
would work. We just need to find a producer.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
need to be in it. I'm not competing this year. I'll just throw out the ideas. But I mean, there's so many interesting people in this sport.
I know,
I
yeah.
mean, really interesting and creative people through every category that they could spotlight. That would
Yeah,
be outrageous.
I agree. No, I agree with you on that. And I like the fact that you're enthusiastic about the idea too, because I think it's kind of neat.
Well, I think it goes into, and this again is just my personal opinion. I think the sport's gotten too serious. I
Yeah.
think the joy is out of it. I think people are not having fun. I think it's become a chore for a lot of people. There are
Mm.
people who are having fun. Um, but like, where's the joy? I think if there was joy again in there and like some sunshine and some fun, maybe the audiences would see it and people respond to that. People want to be drawn in.
Yeah.
And if you see how the process goes and you remove the veil or the secrecy or what it really takes, then it's accessible to everybody. Like I
Yeah.
said before, it's inclusive. Bodybuilding is the most inclusive sport to me. You can be
Hmm.
any age, any race. You can be disabled. You can be old. You can be young. You can do. Anybody can enter.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
Yeah.
and it's just
Mm.
it's a fantastic sport if you want to learn about yourself, and it's so much deeper than people think.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. No, I would love to see that. Yeah, maybe we can make it possible, make
Let's
it
do
work.
it. I'm
Yeah.
sure someone you know can help us find someone who's got a camera. I mean,
Yeah.
I
I
think
think
it'd be amazing.
I think Swole Housewives would be great.
That'd be so cool. Look, I'm writing it down for you.
Okay, cool.
So I'll text it to you so you can remember. I will not
Okay,
take credit for that, but that's a great.
thank you. I think that
Can
would be
you
cool.
imagine? Do you remember
Oh,
the real world? What if they put 8 swole housewives in a, what
oh yeah.
happens when you put 8 swole wives in a house
Oh, that would be
and things
cool.
get real?
Oh, that would be the Swole world,
The
basically.
swole world.
I like that. That's cute. I like it.
I just think, yeah, everything is so heavy right now. And I just think
Yeah.
everybody needs to kind of, it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to love it.
Well, actually, where I have seen um kind of behind the scenes of like pro wrestling, there was a Netflix documentary called Wrestlers that followed this kind of small regional wrestling company. But I found that kind of fascinating because you really get to see behind the scenes, but um, but you see the passion and the joy of these folks too, and
Right?
that's something I think pro wrestling does do a good job of making it fun and having these beefs or a little fake beef kind of thing going
Right.
on. But
Right.
it makes it entertaining and
For
interesting too,
sure. For
so
sure. I would like to see that. I like how the top 3 women bodybuilders are getting along and handling that, but I think they are very dynamic, each in their own very unique way.
yeah,
And that they should be the one, those 3 women, I think it'd be super interesting to follow them.
I agree. Yeah, all three of them are really interesting
Yeah,
ladies, and Ashley's in that mix too. So
for sure. And Missy going into figure, like there's so many storylines you can have that are totally compelling and not necessarily um fighting.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, I
I mean,
understand.
there'll be drama too.
Yeah. That's the
But
drama.
yeah, but it'd be interesting to see the camaraderie and the competition.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. But yeah, the drama would be fun too, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah, there'll be drama.
You can't have a real housewives without that drama. So
You can't have bodybuilding without some drama.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, there's always something at a show or whatever, even along the way. There's the tales from the journey of people's preps. You could do a whole thing on prep files about weird things that happen or injury, like things that come up. I mean, it's
Oh,
endless.
that could be like a spoof of the X-Files, but call it the Prep Files.
We've got a whole trilogy here
Yeah.
going.
I like it.
But I agree. I think that it's such an exciting sport when people are screaming and yelling and everybody's working hard and doing all of that. And I would love to see it get back to that more than anything.
I've heard that Europe shows or in Africa shows are like that. So I don't know what's missing in the US. I think we need to get back to that a little bit. But
Again, everybody's so serious.
yeah, yeah.
Even in the crowd, I feel like they think they're in a library or something and that they can't
Mhm.
yell, or I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But they definitely should yell.
I agree. Yeah.
62, let's go 62. My husband used to say, open your back, because I could never spread my lats. So all I
Oh,
can hear was, open your back.
oh, I like that stuff. Yeah, I love that stuff to get the yelling
uh,
and hooting and hollering. I think that's fun.
oh, it
Yeah.
is. And on stage, it's amazing. If you remember what your number is, it's super fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, oh man, yeah, I got you. I understand.
Come on, now you know that you've seen people's numbers get called and they don't know it's their number.
Yeah, no.
There's so many other things going through your head. You don't think like, oh, that's
Sometimes
me.
it's a language barrier too, I think, you know.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm
Um,
up there in my head singing the songs and dancing. The clips are very funny of me sometimes.
oh, in terms of being up there dancing and stuff. Oh, really?
Yeah, like when I'm on the side, on the angle, on the line.
Oh, really? Oh, I see.
Oh,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
oh, it's so much fun.
I just had one more question for you. Do you like to show off your muscles in public? I know in New Orleans, at least, it's pretty warm most of the time, but or do you
So,
prefer to stay covered up?
so that's a loaded question for me. So
Hmm.
when I first started competing, I always covered up because I felt like it gave. I don't know why, but for some reason I thought I didn't want to show it off. I don't know. It made me uncomfortable. I was not into it. And that was again a me thing. I quickly got over that.
Okay.
Actually, not quickly, in like a year or two. Because I found it was like intimidating and like I wasn't loving the things that people were saying and people didn't really understand. And my
Yeah.
parents weren't quite on board yet. Like there's a lot of duality and conflict there for me. I
I
don't have
understand.
that anymore. I did. I don't
Okay.
have that anymore. I
Okay.
have decided, and what I had an epiphany one day that was like, why have I done every rep, every set for 20 years, you know, and disrespect myself like that? Like it was disrespectful to the work that I had done to not enjoy what I have produced, is
Yeah.
kind of how I felt.
I got you.
Um, and so then I have started showing more off, and my clothes have gotten way smaller over the years. So
Okay. Cool.
basically, this summer I only worked out in a bikini, but of
Oh,
course I'm in
well.
my backyard. But like even a dance class, I mean, like I was really into showing off my body, and I think that was also something, finding that comfort in me and that place allowed me to show it off. Look, I'm not shy. We can all tell that,
Uh-huh.
but I really went full out once I realized that I was being disrespectful to the work that I had done and to myself, and that like
Yeah, I
other
got you.
people's interpretations of my body are not my issue. And I'm sure a lot of women who, especially during competition time, get a lot of comments and get a lot of questions and touching. I don't know if other people have that, but you get touched a lot.
I've heard that.
So
Yeah.
weird.
Uh-huh.
Like, how
Yeah.
are you allowed to touch the lot people? The things that people do are just sometimes baffling.
Yeah, I got you. I understand. Yeah.
Baffling, but good on them.
Uh-huh.
um but yeah, it can get, when you expose yourself like that, it can expose you to a lot more questions and uncomfortable situations.
Yeah. But would you say you also maybe inspire more people too?
I think so. It feels a little weird to me sometimes when people will say to me, oh, I want arms like you or something like you, and I say, you can do it. Like I want people to realize, I don't want them I want them to know that fitness comes in all shapes and sizes and
Hmm.
everybody's beautiful,
Yeah, I'd like that.
and that it's accessible to them as well.
Okay. Yeah.
You can
That's
have
cool.
these arms too, but most people don't want to do the work that's comes with it.
Well, yeah. But that's a good message though, I think. Yeah.
I'm always, I love women, and the one thing I don't want to do is give a false information about my body or what I look like, or make people feel bad about themselves in some way. Like, that's not my jam.
Yeah,
Um,
I gotcha. Yeah.
because there are lots of gorgeous body types in this world, not just muscular. But I
Yeah.
do love my physique, so I'm not I'm not
I'm
complaining.
I'm a little partial to the muscle ladies too. I like y'all.
I
Yeah.
love it. Come on, when I saw Linda Hamilton in Terminator, I was like, huh, that set the seed. I
Oh
didn't do anything
yeah.
about it for however many of years, but that was really the first person that I was like, wait. And then Angela Bassett had great arms too.
Yeah, that's true.
She
I
still
think
does. But
they
like when
both.
it started getting a little bit more mainstream, people weren't as scared of it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I remember, yeah, Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2,
Exactly.
and then she didn't have the muscle in the first Terminator, but then she came back and it was like, wow, yeah, I think she inspired a lot of people
A
actually.
lot of people.
Yeah. Um,
And
yeah.
I would love to see more muscular women on screen.
Yeah, I would too, actually. I would love to see that. I think even like back in the day, there were more muscle women like doing cameos, I think back in the day. And
Hmm.
yeah, I know. I would like to see that as well.
And then didn't they all go on to like American Gladiators and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there was, yeah,
Something
definitely.
like that. But yeah, there weren't many options and still aren't for us, but getting better.
Yeah, I think so too. I would love, like I said, just seeing ESPN has like 500 channels. Like, why not just put one
Right.
of them having
Why I gotta watch cornholing? I'd rather watch bodybuilding.
cornhole. I
No
know.
offense to cornholing, but I can go to my bar and see that. Why do I gotta watch it on ESPN? They do. They show it on ESPN.
They do, I know. And it's
How
always
is that on and not bodybuilding?
I got you. I
Just
understand, and I totally agree with you on that. That's the
how is that more of a sport?
cornhole. I don't know, man. You got to
I'm
get it.
just saying, if it's a sports channel, how is that more of a sport? That's a game to me. That's not a sport. But like
And there's
pickleball's on.
it's pro cornhole too, it's
I mean, like what? We're
oh
gonna
man.
have to. Yeah, we're gonna change that with Swole House,
Yeah,
Swole
that's true.
Housewives.
Swole
Swole.
Housewives, that's right. Oh man. I was just curious, is there anything I missed that you'd like to address or anybody you'd like to shout out?
I'd like to thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
And of course, my family and friends and everybody who supported me, Andrew and Ashley, obviously. And yeah, go eat that Elevate Right rice, y'all. Go
Yeah.
to them. It is so scrumptious. They have apple pie, carrot cake, chocolate peanut butter. Go get it and use
And
Ashley's code.
well, I was curious too. That's my next question is, do you have any sponsors or are you interested in getting sponsors?
I am not interested in getting sponsors, and I
No?
do not have any sponsorship, only that love for that company. Um, yeah, I don't do much online. I could barely log into this. So like being responsible for, hyping up someone's line, I don't know that that's not my jam.
Sure. I got you. I understand.
I don't want to do that work. I just want to eat their food. No sponsorships.
No. How about like a suit sponsor or something like that? That'd be
No,
cool.
but I loved my suit. It was by Charissa with Bikini Lab.
Oh
Amazing.
yeah. She does a good job.
I only told her that I was doing Purple Hat as my song from Sophie Tucker.
Oh, I
I said,
love
you
that
can
song.
do, yeah, I love that song too. I said, you can do whatever you want. As long as it's happy and vibrant and exciting was the only thing I sold her. And that's what she came up with. I had no
Yeah.
input at all and she crushed it.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I like that suit too. Yeah.
It was
That
fun.
really is a good song too. That's a good one to pick too. Yeah. Such a fun
uh,
song.
my songs have been fun. It's interesting though, when you can choose any song in the world. How do you choose?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
and you get song fatigue, so you can't listen to the song for a while afterwards. But I've enjoyed all my
Yeah.
songs. I did Hypnotized by Biggie. I did Jingle Bell Rock. I had Back That Ass Up as a tribute to to Juvenile, but I didn't get to perform that one.
Oh, nice.
And then I had Purple Hat, which was super fun.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Yeah.
I like those energetic songs and
I do.
bubbly things.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that too. And that makes it more fun to watch on stage, of course, too.
I mean, you sit in the and see the shows. I find that even the music is so dramatic.
Yeah.
Everything is very like I'm suffering and here I am, and
Yeah.
some of it is gorgeous, and I'm like everybody's so sad.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like their movements are beautiful and the choreography is amazing. You don't hear fast songs very much.
Yeah, I know, I know. Which I do find a little perplexing too.
I
Especially
mean,
some of the best routines I was thinking back in the day were like Corey Everson or Anya
mm,
Conger, and they had fast-paced songs that were really fun, and they were posing to the beat, and just like
mhm.
doing all kinds of cool stuff like that. So yeah, I agree with you on that. I'd like to see more fun stuff like that too.
And I love all these new creative people and their posing. I mean,
Yeah,
Ashley is one of them. Rachel Daniels. There's so many great posers. Dexter with well, not and Kai. He was a great poser, and I
hi,
think that
yeah,
would bring people back as well when they see these routines that people do.
yeah. I know. I would like to see that too.
They could really
Um,
connect with that.
I would like to see a return of mixed pairs posing.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. I'm
Yeah,
in. I would love that.
isn't that cool?
That's old school.
It is, but it's so cool. I'd love to see that come
So
back
cool.
again. Yeah.
Rachel and Kai did that a little thing like that. It was amazing.
Uh-huh. Even
So cool.
it could be exhibition, but I'd love to see like come back as a division too. It used to be
Yes.
competitive and yeah, I love that. That was
Why
awesome.
can't we have those instead of more of the? I mean, I don't mind the fit model. I think anybody who wants to get in, let's go. Bring
Yeah.
more people. The more people to our sport, the better. Like, what's everybody complaining about? But
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be amazing.
I
And do you
agree.
remember when the figure girls had the one piece?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like that too.
I
Yeah.
didn't mind that either. I thought that
Uh-huh.
was super cool.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I like
They were
that too.
pretty. That was Mary Lado. Let me just say, she's a New Orleans IFBB pro who I looked up to, love, and she's still around here, and she's amazing. I don't know if you
Really?
remember her,
No, I don't. Uh-uh. She was really
Mary
good.
Lado, Lado. Yeah, she won a bunch. I don't know. She didn't do the Olympia, I don't think, but yeah, she was around 2007.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. I'll definitely look her up and see. Yeah.
She's an awesome, awesome. Oh,
Well,
bodybuilding's fun.
it is. Bodybuilding's the best. I like it.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Rachel, for your time. I really appreciate it. This has been a great interview. I just love your energy and your enthusiasm is awesome.
Thank you. I so enjoyed being with you, and I hope we'll chat again. Doesn't have to be like this, but
Yeah, definitely. Thank
I
you.
would
Yeah,
love to
definitely. I'll
stay
be
in
in
touch
touch.
because we got some work to do. We got some Swole Housewives to work on.
I
We've got a
know.
whole Swole series we're gonna do, so you're not getting rid of me.
Muscle Mamas. Yeah. I love it. I think it's a great idea.
I think we're gonna do it. We're gonna find people and we're gonna do it.
I even had an idea for Netflix. It could be Sweatflix. Oh.
Come on, come on. I'm writing these down because I'm worried you're gonna forget. Oh my God, that's the one.
Yeah, Sweatflix.
That's really good. We got
Yeah,
lots of choices here.
I
You'll be
know.
hearing from me.
Okay. Thank you, Rachel.
I
No.
do believe that, though. I do think people would be interested, and I think we're on to something.
Yeah, I think those shows would have the interest and like the sex appeal. It has everything you need, and the drama and everything.
Who doesn't want to see people in tiny clothes, man or women, in their prime of their physique? It's pretty
Yeah,
fucking hot.
look like
Why do you think
superheroes.
my 88-year-old dad likes to go to the show and watch all the bikini competitors? Like he's in hog's heaven. Are you kidding me?
Oh no, I know.
He's like, what? He sits in the lobby and just watches all the women walk past him. Loves
Oh,
it.
he's real cool. Yeah.
Right? Why aren't other people doing that? And the men. The men are amazing too
Yeah,
to
that's
look at.
true.
I mean, like what? So come look at us.
No, I agree with you on that. No,
Come look at us. We want you there.
No, thank you. Thanks again, Rachel. I appreciate your time, and y'all get this posted soon, and I'll keep you posted.
I appreciate that. Thank you. We will be talking soon. Sweatflix.
Thank you.
Bye, David.
Bye.
Thank you.